Good morning, good afternoon and good evening. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. If you're a subscriber, cheers. If you're not a subscriber, have a think about it. Anyway, you've joined us today because you are intrigued by what happens behind the scenes in a car dealership. Well, the reason that we're doing this video today is because the most popular question, without a shadow of a doubt, is, Rob, where do you get your cars from? And a lot of it comes from part exchanges. And the reason for that is because you meet the owner, you touch it, feel it, you know what it's like, and then you can make an offer and buy a car, hopefully. So, over the next couple of days, we've got 3 really nice cars going out, and it's a little bit, I'm trying to sort of get a grips to it really. So 5 years ago, we were doing Fiat 500s, Ford Ka, that sort of stuff, which is, you know, nice cars, but cheap. And then we've got 3 really nice cars going out over the next 3 days and 3 really cool part exchanges, hopefully coming in over the next 3 days. So the purpose of this video is to show you not only a little bit more about what happens in the background of the car dealership, but also what people part exchange against what car, because I quite find it quite interesting. So, first warning, there's going to be a continuity issue within this video because I'm getting this mop sorted out halfway through and there's kind of nothing I can do about it. I'm either cancelling my haircut or cancelling appointments with customers, and neither of those are humanly possible at the moment because this situation is not good. So, first car, shall we? Aston Martin Vantage. This, I think without a shadow of a doubt, is probably, Cal, do you agree, the sexiest car we've ever had in here? One owner, 2018 car. It's done 7,000 miles. It's had a service every year at Aston Martin, regardless of the miles. And just look at it. It's finished in Skyfall Silver. It's got brown leather. Brave. I love it. And it's got these really fancy wheels on, so they don't do these wheels anymore. So Aston Martin basically had a fallout with the wheel producer. But just look at that thing. We had this up at £78,000. It was up for 30 days, and we've sold it. His part exchange is pretty cool as well. Now, I really like these cars. I always liked an Aston Martin. I like the older version, but they decided to stick a C63 lump in the new ones. Which is like the nicest engine, in my opinion, on a modern V8. So, it sounds epic. It goes like thump, looks sexy as hell, and a bargain at £78,000. However, you're asking me, Rob, what is this man's part exchange on the Aston Martin Vantage? Well, I'll show you, because it's this. 2020 BMW 840D X-Drive M Sport Pro Plus Algebra. Something like that. Anyway, lovely car. So this came in against the Aston Martin. It has done 32,000 miles. It's got 3 owners, loads and loads of service history on this car, and crucially, loads of technology as well. I reckon it's going to be about 39 grand retail, there or thereabouts. So he's gone from something that's 80 to something that's 40 to something that's 80. So that makes sense. He's gone the right way. This car, mate, I am very aroused by. It's come in with a full tank of fuel. Thank you, the part exchange gods. And it has got loads of spec. Do you want to have a look at this, Cal? So first of all, it's the key that arouses me mostly. It is what they call a BMW smart key. And you do this, look, and you can have a look at everything that's going on. Full tank. Lovely. There is a load of spec. I feel like I'm selling this now, but I just want to show you how excited I am. This is a door. Use it for entering the vehicle. But crucially, when you get home on a night and you shan't wake the neighbours up because you've been doing business, they close softly. It has got blind spot assist. It's got lane assist. It's got self-drive. It's got Harman Kardon sound system. It's got gesture control. It's got heated and cooled seats. It's got a heated steering wheel. It's got a panoramic sunroof. It's got carbon fibre inlays.
Deadpool's suit on the seats, isn't it?
It's got what?
Deadpool's suit on the seats.
Not seen it, mate.
Not seen it?
No, sorry. Oh, good. We'll leave that in. Other than that, service history's mega on it. I reckon this car would be 39 grand. I didn't particularly want to buy it because, for me, personally, I know they're going to be hard work to sell. However, he paid full price on the Aston Martin, so I didn't want to mess him about on this car. We're going to get it up for sale. However, that is car number 1 going out, car number 2. Let's have a look at car number 3 going out, which is this rather scrumptious 2023 Lotus Emira First Edition. How cool is this thing? I've done a video on this already. We've had this car in for 60 days. It is now sold, obviously, that's why we're doing this video. It's done 150 miles from new. Basically, the guy that bought it waited ages to get the car. When it finally arrived up, had a couple of changes of circumstances at home, but he decided he wanted to keep it, and now he wants out of it. Never got a chance to drive it. Already had its first service. 1 year old, 1 owner, still VAT qualifying. We got £68,000 for this car, which I think is absolutely the right money for it. The guy is coming in soon. He's got a cool part exchange. Now, this one was a bit of a different car for us. Normally, we sell our own stuff that we own, but this was sale or return. So basically, we sold it on behalf of a bloke. So he's going to get his money, and we're going to get a nice part exchange with a little bit of luck. So he's coming in tomorrow. He's coming across from Ireland. His part exchange also sports a V6 engine. However, his part exchange doesn't have the V6 in the back, it's got the V6 in the front. His part exchange is also British. However, it's not derived for tracks, it's derived for golf clubs and financial advisors. It is, of course, without further introduction, Jaguar F-Type. Oh, if you know me, you know I've got a hankering for these cars. I've liked them ever since I first saw one or heard one. Because I remember sitting in the beer garden one time in Harrogate and we all heard the sound of this V6 ripping down the road. No one knew what it was, they'd just come out and it was a beautiful F-Type V6. Now they do different variants, they do V8, V6, so we have a V8 in stock, up there, and we now have a V6 in stock. This particular example is a 2017 car done 25,000 miles and it's going to be £28,000, there or thereabouts. Had this argument with a customer. Spec-wise, it's got the exhaust button, which is really important. We'll go into that in a second. It's got a pan roof, but I've never seen one white with white interior. And I think for me, that is so, so cool. It's also got the fixed aero kit on this car as well, which is nice. And as I mentioned before, it is the V6. And there is a huge argument as to whether or not the V8 or the V6 sounds better. For me, I'm still undecided. I think I'd probably prefer to live with a V6. But those things just sound absolutely beautiful. Do you want to hear it? Cal, do you want to hear it? We all want to hear it. So they've got like a really cool, so the car is warm, FYI, because I've just road tested it. And they've got like a soft limiter on these. Ooh. And what I'm going to do is pass the microphone over to Cal.
Wow. Cleaning exhausts.
It's a bit glorious, isn't it? I'm going to have to hold the microphone like this, like a proper YouTube star. Anyway, so that is car number 2 coming in. So we've had 2 out, 2 in. The next car that is going out this weekend is very unfortunate for me because it's a car that I always dreamed of having in stock, always wanted to keep hold of it. Finally got a buyer on the car. If you look for I accidentally sold my dream car, there's a video we've done on YouTube about it there. And it is, of course, the very special, very impractical, but very perfect Ferrari 360 Spider. This car, Rosso Corsa, which is of course the only colour that you buy a Ferrari in, unless you're trying to save some money and buy a black one. Incorrect. It's got black interior rather than the crema interior, which is apparently the interior to have, but I think it marks really badly, so people who buy that one. Incorrect. However, this car is gorgeous. It's 7 owners, which is fairly normal on one of these. It's done 31,000 miles. It has got a naturally aspirated V8 Ferrari engine, obviously. It is just perfect. We've just had it back from the specialist, just on the timing belts on it. That was cheap. And I quote them, this is one of the nicest 360s they've seen in a long time, which hurts me even more. Anyway, I'm trying to buy a house. I can't keep it. I want to keep it. It makes me look really, first world problems. I really want to keep the Ferrari. I'd love to. Even if I wasn't buying the house, I probably couldn't keep this car. This car sold for £69,500, had it in for a while. I think in 5 to 10 years' time, these machines, 360s, will be north of 100 grand. Quote me on it. 5 to 10 years' time. If you're watching this in 5 to 10 years' time and they're north of 100 grand, subscribe. If you're watching it in 5 to 10 years' time and they're not north of 100 grand, don't. Anyway, sexy, beautiful, glorious car. My favourite thing about this one, Callum, that is what we like to call Italian pornography. And it is a 6-speed gated manual gearbox. And it's just so good to drive. We actually did a modification on this as well, where you sort of tightened up the bushes and the linkage and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, it's going to a really nice guy. We sold it at a supercar show. There's a video on that. I accidentally sold my dream car. Have a look at that. It's quite interesting. His part exchange is going to throw you. Rear-engined, German, very bright in colour, older than this, many, many, many things slower about it than this car. However, you would not have expected the guy that bought this Ferrari 360 manual Spider has just part exchanged this. I don't know if that's opened or closed. 1973 VW Beetle, finished in yellow, and the interior is finished in very green. Is that? I don't know about this alarm system. This car is properly cool. And you might be getting excited and thinking, oh my God, I've just dropped on a channel here where the guy's a legend and buys all sorts of stuff. Fluke. Absolute fluke. Wish I could buy this sort of stuff all the time. Bit of a weird deal. Anyway, it's a 1973 50 years old, 1.6 litre air-cooled engine. Would you like to have a look at it? This is really cool. Look at that. Round about 50 to 60 brake horsepower. So you get a lot of oversteer in one of these, apparently. It is a classic. It does not require an MOT. The tax is also free. I don't like slamming anything on this. And overall, a very cheap car to run. However, this particular example has been imported from Australia. Callum's shaking his head, but I know I nailed that. It is converted to a right-hand drive as well, which is really cool. And it is, for those VW buffs that have already noticed, a genuine Carman edition. And you can tell it's a genuine Carman edition by this badge. I've been told it is, and I believe him. So the deal was, he wanted to buy the Ferrari, needed room for the Ferrari, and I went to his house, saw this in there, and I just thought, you know what it is, mate? We'll have a go on that. The car is absolutely immaculate underneath. I have absolutely no idea how to price it. The mileage is 89,000 kilometres, which is mid-50s. I'm asking the wrong guy. Yep. Callum can't add up. Mid-50s, there or thereabouts. It's got the original Australian stickers in the window there. It's got an Australian sticker in this little window here. I love it. I absolutely love it. And it sounds phenomenal as well. So, in the meantime, it's going to go in the bar. If anyone out there actually understands these things and wants to give me a bit of a steer on price or even make an offer, let me know. But for the meantime, it's going to look rather cool sat in our customer waiting area. I think that's what we call it, isn't it, Callum? Customer waiting area. It's not always this exciting. This has just been a particularly exciting few days, hasn't it, Cal? So this is the last of the part exchanges to come in. Coming up, we've obviously got a series that you might know about. If you've been following us, you'll know that we've got something coming up very soon, how to make money selling cars. This not being a fine example of that. So that's going to be coming over to you soon. However, from myself and from Skippy, can we see her? Thanks again for tuning in. Cheers! Is that open or closed?